You know what the problem is? The problem with Sifu, as of right now, is that easy mode just completely gets rid of the difficulty. Like normally you would think this is an opportunity to lower the difficulty, to make it more approachable so that people can have a more casual experience. But the problem right now is that you have no difficulty whatsoever. At every step of the way, the devs made sure that you not only can you not die, but there is no punishment where you do fuck up. Like you have no reasons to block. You can just mash through the entirety of the game, and nothing bad will happen. You may die, but let's be honest. There is no way you will die 50 times to one enemy. There is no way. And guess what? Even if you end up dying 49 times, let's say, you'll still have 75 chances to lower years. Let's say you have like 75 years just in case you need them, right? So in general, you have 125 chances to die. Now, Sifu was never a hard game. Yeah, Sifu never was a hard game. If you tell me that Sifu was a skill-based game, I would completely agree with you. It still is. It still is a skill-based game. And the problem is people misunderstood what the game was about. It's not a hard game. You just need to learn the mechanics. And once you do learn those mechanics, you will be fine. The problem in the first place is that the game does a terrible job at explaining certain mechanics, some certain crucial mechanics, and this is why people just didn't understand. Or maybe they just didn't want to understand the game anymore. And you might be watching this video as an expert. You platinum the game, you finished the game both in the disciple and master difficulty, and don't understand what I mean. Remember when you first played the game. It's very important that you remember. And the first time you actually try to spare, when you finally beat Yang, and you heard that sequence, the Wude sequence about he who has kung fu, whatever, let his punches strike. There, what did you automatically think about sparing the bosses? Like, even if you did you automatically think about, I have to lower or fill the structure twice for them to be able to be spared? Like the game just doesn't tell you certain things and expects you to find those things out. And if you are a seasoned player and you just love investing your time in games, you will figure it out and you won't think twice about it. But for a casual, that's not that experience is just this is not just good. This is not good. If you have to go online to understand how to spare the bosses, then the game did a poor job explaining that mechanic to you. And that's what I'm talking about when I say that the game messed up at many levels. When some skills don't work the way they're supposed to because their description is wrong, this is not okay. It gives the player, if you are a player, right, and you are trying to use that particular skill and sometimes you just try your best and you just can't make it work, your assumption will be, maybe I'm just bad. No, you're not bad. The game is bad. Not altogether, but certain aspects of the game are bad. And people may think, you know what, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe the game needs to be easier for me to be able to complete, to be better at it. No, the game doesn't need to be easier. You just need to get better, and the devs need to step up the game and actually make the game work. Sifu never was a hard game. Have you ever played Cuphead? If you tell me that Cuphead is a hard game, I'll tell you 100%. 100%. It is still beatable, right? But this game, it feels like that particular game was made by Satan. But Sifu never was like that game, and it still never is. It is just a learning curve, and when the game actually doesn't tell you exactly what you need to do, then you struggle. And we live in an era where every game, like not every game, but most of the game today, they look alike, right? You take one game, it's either an RPG or it's a battle royale, and even the few games which attempt to be different, they're afraid to take risk. I think today, I think today, if you want to play a game which is original, you will have to play a game made by an indie studio. Those guys, they actually take risk. They have a clear idea of what the game will be, and they will deliver that. But today, what do you see around? How many RPGs, how many Battle Royales, new Call of Duty game, new Battlefield game? It's like deja vu. Take Elden Ring. It is an amazing game. However, if you played Dark Souls games, Sekiro, Bloodborne, it feels like, Elden Ring is all those games version 2.0. It's just a better version, arguably a better version of all those games. It doesn't do anything new. No, it takes an existing idea and the execution is better. But there's nothing new, there's nothing mind-blowing about Elden Ring except the jump button. Like, you have the ability to jump now. Hooray, congratulations, you made it. But look at a game, take a game like Hades, right? Hades, Hollow Knight, Cuphead. What more do you... The one time I actually saw a big studio, arguably a big studio, do something kind of new with a big game, it will be Returnal, right? But again, I still think that prior to making Returnal, Housemarque was, in the middle, like not AAA, but not like your casual, dev studio. But that game is original, right? It's a roguelike, but it's original. But people still wanted easy mode. It feels like every time a game tries to be different, you want the game to just look like every other game. I don't understand. First, you complain about the games being all the same today, and then you complain about the game being different. All those games, and especially Sifu, they had a clear idea of what they wanted the game to be. If Sifu didn't launch with different difficulty levels, difficulty options, it's because the devs knew their game wasn't hard. It was a skill-based game, and everybody willing to invest the time and learn the skills would do just fine. But when they caved in and made easy mode, I was like, you know what, I don't like the idea, but at least it's going to appeal to more people. And at the end of the day, we all want those guys to make some money, right? It's not just about making a good game. They need to make to make some profit, and eventually, even when they do make profit, maybe some bigger studio will want to endorse them or want to support them for a possible sequel. So everybody is a winner. But I just don't like the way that easy mode. I swear to God, think about this. Think about the easiest game of all time, where death was involved, right? Death is involved, and dying is synonymous with game over. Easy mode, as it stands now, makes the game the easiest game in gaming history. Because there is no way a game is easier than this, because there is no way a game gives you that many chances before you lose. That's the thing. Dying in Sifu is not the end, but reaching the max age is the end. But when you have so many chances, it will take you, honestly, if you were to die in Sifu 125 times, it will take you maybe less, just maybe around an hour before you get game over without you doing anything. Tell me what game is easier than this. There is no way you will die to one enemy on that difficulty for 1 hour. So when I tell you that Sifu, the easy mode in Sifu, makes the game the easiest game in the world, in the entirety of the gaming history, trust me, it is. But Giselle, people bought the game. They get to play the way they want to play, right? Okay, listen. There are two cases, right? Maybe you played the game to experience the story, in which case I'm going to ask you why. Why not just go on YouTube, watch a video and save yourself $40. Like, why would you just buy the game and play on easy mode for the story? Oh, maybe you wanted to experience the game. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but the game you played, it was not Sifu. I'm sorry to break it, like, let's be honest. The game you played, it isn't Sifu. It's a shallow version of the game. It has nothing the game stands for. The mechanic is no longer skill-based. It's mashing based. You don't need to learn about pairing windows and how to use a particular skill. You don't need to get good. You don't have to do anything. You can just stand there and play with one hand. You may die, but trust me, you will finish the game. There is no way this is Sifu. And people are so fast, so quick when it comes to calling a game hard. They called Cuphead a hard game because they couldn't beat the tutorial. Okay. They called Sifu a hard game. Like, they even said Sifu is like Dark Souls. I'm like, dude, listen. Just because you are bad, I'm going to say it. Just because you are bad doesn't mean that the game is hard. But you can learn how the game works. You can do so. It is that need to ignore the game mechanics just because you don't understand how it works, which disturbs me. As it stands right now, there is no reason. Okay, let's say they did it to appeal to more people. The people who played, they finally played the game, and they completed the game on easy mode. Do you really think those people will be back? They will finish the game and they will never pick it up again. Do you know why? Why would they? Like, give me a reason why they would. Look at the roadmap Sifu proposed. Do you think there's anything appealing to, people who want a casual experience? They have modifiers coming. They have arenas coming. And it's going to be like, they want to, to increase the challenge. Do you really think people who wanted no challenge in the first place are going to play those game modes? They're never going to come back. And there is no story related content. So those people who wanted to just have a casual experience and experience the story, they are left out. So chances are those people are going to buy the game, yes, but they'll never come back. So if anything, they made it sure the game will die faster now. Why are you playing Sifu today? Why are you still playing Sifu after you platinum the game? Why are you doing all those things? It's because you want to learn, you want to master the game, you want to know about every single skill and how to use them, at the best, how to be efficient in the way you fight. Those people don't care about those things. They won't come back because they don't have to. They don't have to unlock any skills. They don't have to, to learn about how to manage the bonuses. They don't have to learn about anything. So why would they? Like, why are you still playing Sifu? Why are you still watching my channel? Why? Okay, listen, right? If we were just that good at every game, why would we want to get, to learn more about those games? Why are we watching Shroud? Why are you watching a particular streamer or YouTuber? Because somehow maybe there is they add something to the table. Maybe there is something they do that you cannot do. Maybe they're just entertaining, but maybe, just maybe, they do something you can't do and you want to praise them for that, right? But if the game is just easy, like straight up the game is easy, there is no way you would want to do that again, because you can do those things. You can do those things at home, right? We have those at home. Why would you watch people online? And again, why do I bring it up? Because it's a very important component when it comes to the longevity of the game. How is it streamable? How long are people going to remember Among Us? Imagine if Among Us wasn't that mainstream, like it wasn't easy to stream, it would have died so fast. But because so many people online were playing that game, everybody wanted to play that game, or everybody wanted to watch people play that game. If Sifu wasn't like that, if people weren't struggling, not because the game was hard, again, not because the game was hard, but if nobody was struggling, nobody would want to see people struggle. I talked about Elden Ring, so I'm going to go back to that one game, right? There is a boss called Malenia, and maybe you never even touched, Elden Ring, maybe it's not even your kind of games, but chances are you may have heard about that one boss because she gave a lot of trouble to many people. Now imagine that Malenia was just like any other boss, then nobody would have cared. And there are a lot of bosses in the game nobody cares about because they are just like meh, just one other, ridiculous boss. Why should we care? The whole idea behind let me solo her is because Malenia is that one boss which is going to destroy you, just burn your dreams to the ground. And you if you don't understand where I'm going, the fact that she is that, that's busted, it makes people want to come for more. They will want to see people struggle against her or just see people try to find a way to go around her. So at the end of the day, it's a great way to keep your game alive. You create discussion, people want to know about that one game. Why is this streamer dying for like 3 days in a row? Afro Senju, I love this guy, and the way he actually delivered the whole experience when it comes to Elden Ring, my brother is a hero. But imagine everybody could beat Elden Ring, he would have never played the game the way it was, and it wouldn't have been that entertaining to begin with. And Elden Ring isn't even a hard game. I played the game, I have over 200 hours in the game, and I'm here to tell you it is not a hard game. But that boss, Malenia, oh, she's a hard one. And the devs could have just tried to nerf her. Actually, I think at some point they nerfed Radahn, and I hated that. It was fun, it wasn't unfair, it was fun until you learn the mechanics. Again, all those games are never hard. There is a way to approach and people just get lazy. And you know what, there are many things in life I can't do. I can't be a doctor, I can't go to med school, I can't do a lot of things in life. I don't complain about those things I can't do. I am okay about not doing those things. And I'm coming, what I want to say is, not every game has to be for everybody. I'm sorry to break it to you, but just like I'm okay not going to med school, you have to be okay understanding that maybe some games are just not made for you. It's okay, it is okay. There are plenty of games out there which can suit your interest, but just maybe not that one. And it's fine, you don't have to cry about the game being hard and wanting to experience the game, going around the way the devs intended the game to be played. And if Sifu had easy mode from the start, we wouldn't have this discussion right now. And Trekiyomi, I actually like the game. Trekiyomi is also an indie game. So when I tell you that indie games are the ones trying to innovate, trust me, they are. They take risk, and that game is also taking risk in its design and the fighting system. But that game has multiple difficulty levels, and at the end of the day, I'm always trying to go the hardest difficulty because I feel like this is where you feel challenged. This is where you have to play around the game and understand exactly how the AI works. And in Sifu, for example, right, Yang has input reading. It means that sometimes it's going to react depending on what you press. But if in easy mode, you don't have to worry about all those things. You can just go there and just mash. All that work they did went to waste. And I think that's really sad. As it stands right now, I think they made a mistake which can be costly. I think they may have killed the game without even knowing. In an attempt to appeal to everybody, I think they may have killed the game. Again, maybe, okay, alright, you know what, maybe they could have made an easy mode. The problem is the execution, man. The execution is terrible. You can't make a game like that. It's like they decided to just say, fuck it. We're not going to worry about all the things you guys complain about. We're going to make a game, so easy, you're going to shut it. That's the idea they gave me when I played easy mode, right? It's like they just try to ignore everything people said about the game, how exactly people were struggling, and it just want you to just, it's like a shut up. Yeah, you know, easy mode is Sifu is like shut up, right? Like, this is what you asked for. Our game is too hard. Take this and shut up. Simply, you know, if, okay, let's say they wanted to make an easy mode, right? Because it's not just about complaining. Solutions. If they wanted to make the game easier, all they had to do is explain the mechanics better. Do you see that first encounter in the squad with the Juggernaut? They did such a great job explaining exactly why you should dodge. You know, you should dodge the grabs. You cannot parry those, and the screen will actually freeze for a moment until you perform the right input. That's a great way, you know, to implement that mechanic, that skill in our brains. You know, we have monkey brains. We have monkey brains, but that we understand, and every time we'll listen, we'll hear that sound, we'll know, okay, there is a grab coming, I cannot parry those, I have to dodge those or get out of the way. I would have loved to see more sequences like that, because that way you make sure that, okay, we made sure we explain the way our game works. If you still bad, that's on you. But as it stands right now, I can't tell you in all honesty that the people who struggle in the game, it's not their fault. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not their fault. The game is not perfect. You even take the practice mode, you cannot practice against multiple, you know, different enemy types at the same time, which doesn't make sense, because that one room at the tower, for example, is one room with different enemies, but you cannot recreate that sequence, you know, in training mode. And why is it so red? Anyway, to wrap it up, as it stands right now, they may have killed the game. They could have made a better implementation of easy mode, but they got lazy. And they didn't understand why. They didn't understand the reasons why people were complaining. There was a lot of things wrong with the game, but the difficulty never was one of those things. And I really hope if there is a sequence, they don't cave in like that. And if they do cave in, they actually listen to what people will say instead of trying to shut people out and make that mode. I'm Jaso, and I guess Sifu is like Dark Souls. I mean, it was like Dark Souls. It was like Dark Souls.